Hello, Victor here, RestoreYourMercedes.com. Today we want to talk about this harness here. This didn't even fit in my workshop because I couldn't even lay it down to show the size of this thing. That's a very large harness. This is the harness that came from a 1992 Mercedes 600 SCL 4-door sedan W140 V12. Now, we're gonna go over the harness. Let's take a look what we have here. Now this is the oxygen sensor connectors. These are inside the vehicle. Alright, so this harness passes over inside the cabin through the firewall, of course, and they go to those the oxygen sensors on the floor. I don't remember which one is this one. I can't remember each and every connector, of course, but I'll do my best. Now we have an issue with mass airflow sensor wiring, of course. Somebody didn't do a job completely, so as you can see, these wires, and they're still messed up. Now what I'm gonna do, obviously I'm going to fix all that, but before wrapping it all up, I have to check all the other things on this harness. Now most of the wires are okay, obviously they will be, but these ones are the ones to be repaired. Now these are the computer connectors, LH1, LH2. These they live inside the computer box, of course. One tab here is broken off, but the computer will remain. But when you pull it out, you have to hold it down so you don't pull the plug together with the computer. Really don't need to do so after all once it's all done. But anyway, see, there's supposed to be a clip here. This one isn't there. Same on the green one. Same here. You got one clip here that holds it down, and this clip is missing. It's actually not the end of the world because there will be covering the box, the computer box, that's going to go over them, so more or less they will remain. It's very bad if this thing is broken off completely, and that's a problem, because if this is broken off completely, you have to really hold it, whatever. It's just bad news. Now these are CAN bus, color coded to different modules. So you have the blue one, that's the second plug, because there are two blues and two greens. So obviously you have the pink, here's the green, you got the blue. I think this is the carb module. This is the, I think it's ABS. This is the ASR. And the green one, green one is the main ECU. Yeah, okay. Now this plug is the part of the base module connector. As you can see, a hole here. And there is an extra pin here. I assume that this came out from a base module, the rest of the base module plug, because the base module connector is going to be pretty much as long as this. So you're gonna have way more pins, but this portion separates. But this one is part of the harness. I have to double check which pin it goes to, just so I can mark it. That's that. Now we have this connector. This one is for the computer box coolant fan, and that is that. That's good. Now looking at the harness, I found one broken wire over here, so this one was repaired. It was a little bit on the short end, so I made it longer. This is the factory kind of looking splice, but that's just a splice. All these wires, they splice into one right here, so that's normal. That looks normal. Now this is the connector for the engine harness, upper harness, the one that goes to the injectors, temperature sensors, camshaft advanced solenoids, and what have you. So this is the one that has this like a accordion piece in the center. It goes right in the center of the engine, and this is the plug for it. Now moving over on the other side. Now this harness here, this one lays next to the fake firewall, like kind of like down under, right? It crosses over on the other side, and what we see here, we have our HVAC temperature connector, outside temperature sensor. That's the plug. I just wrapped up this portion because it was pretty bad, and as you can see the way it's shaped, that's that firewall, fake firewall rather. Now this is the other side of the harness. This is the driver's side. Obviously this goes into the fuse box on the driver's side. All right, that's that. We have our diagnostic plug. 92s had those. We have ignition module connections. We have our ground. This I don't remember. I think it's at one of the HVAC temperature sensors. This is the receiver dryer, if I remember correctly. Pressure sensor for the receiver dryer. Now further up here we have one of the switchover valves or EGR valve, one or the other. Ground. We have another switchover valve here, either air pump or something. No, I'm sorry, not the air pump. The switchover, what it was, like a maybe transmission upshift delay or something like that. One of those. All right, so we have another connector here for the ignition module, the second one. Moving along here to the ignition coil. These are the ignition coil wires, these two. Now we have the fan wires here. This is the fan connector. This is the resistor. It's a secondary electric fan connector. This should be for the AC air conditioner. The plug is missing and one wire is kind of broken, so I have to, yeah, this looks pretty terrible. This has to be dealt with. This is the intake air temperature sensor. This one I don't remember. I'm not going to say what this one is for. Don't remember. I can't remember each and every plug, you know, seriously. I remember most of them, but okay, so now these wires here, okay, these two bundles, they go inside the plastic cover that sits right on top of the motor, right close to the firewall. So there's like this one goes where the cowl is, and this one sits on top of the motor, so it runs along on top. It just snaps open and then you can get to those wires on top, and there will be some evap system hoses, some other wires laying there like on top. Then the engine harness also runs on top in that plastic tray and stuff like that. So these are the ones. Now this is the mass airflow sensor, of course. That's the one for the driver's side. On the driver's side, that feeds the right bank of the motor. Although the ring is missing here. I don't know what happened to the ring, because this one has the ring, a lock ring, and that is something that you kind of do want. You don't want this plug to fall off for, you know, during vibrations or whatever. So that's that. We already saw this connector for the ignition module there. Again, this is like a switchover valve or something like that. This is the camshaft reference sensor connector, connects to the camshaft reference. Right. Although, where is the second? What, the crankshaft? No, wait. That's got to be the camshaft reference number 2. Then I guess the first one is in the other harness. Was it not? Just don't see the number 1. It's supposed to also be number 1 connector. Okay, well, I guess I don't see it here. It's just one here. Although it goes into the ignition module. So from this there's supposed to be... Oh, of course. Of course. We didn't get to this side yet. This is the number 1. It says 1 on it. Yes, of course. Should be there. Okay, so that is that. So these bundles here. And we'll go into the most messed up part here. That is all messed up here. Now, what have we here? We have the diagnostic readout port. That's like, you don't really need it, but whatever, it was there. This plug was broken off, so I just put zip tie, but nobody uses it anyway. It gives you some codes, but very primitive and limited amount of codes. Again, we got the mass airflow sensor that I have to deal with here. Okay, so that's those. I have to wire those up. Ignition ignition module, diagnostic connector, the grounds. Now this is gonna be another switchover valve, maybe GR valve actuator connector, which is also pretty bad. I have to clean this all up and resolder these. Yep. So now we got the grounds here. Two of them are for the mass airflow sensors that are of our interest. We got some of these wires were spliced in already. I don't know. We gotta check what these go to. You got these two, so that might be the air pump clutch and the switchover valve for the air pump. So it opens the solenoid to supply that air from the air pump that it pumps into the exhaust manifold. There is a one-way valve, but it's supposed to be also a connector for the to open and close that valve, vacuum supply. Okay. Now these two, or maybe this one is for that. I don't remember. Like I said, I can't remember each and every single plug on these cars. But I'll double check once I'm in front of the computer with all my diagrams. And this is the intake air temperature sensor. That's the incoming air temperature sensor. That you can see the wires are bad over here too. I might have to fix these, like replace these wires that go to like up to here somewhere, because here they're fine, they're pliable and everything's fine. But this is a very, very hot engine, the V12. As you can see, the plastics, it disintegrates basically, and it's pretty bad news. This might be for the air pump clutch, maybe not. Well, it doesn't matter. So these and this is our second ignition coil. All right, so 8mm, 10mm ignition coil, and of course the camshaft reference. That's another one that goes like this. Is the ignition module. It's going to be plugged in somewhere around here, and this one goes up slightly into that plastic tray we talked about. So I'm gonna actually leave these sort of wrapped up, but not fully, so you can maneuver these wires left and right. And I also will reference how they exactly laid out. I have one of these V12s sitting around, also 92 model, so they will be identical before I wrap them all up completely and make them solid. Because this is kind of a mess here, so we need to, whatever. Somebody used these crimps. That's a no-go. I mean, I like to solder my wires, not to crimp them together. Somebody did their best, I assume, but again, crimp connections like this, that's not good, because water gets in there, could be a corrosion going on and what have you, so that wouldn't be nice. All right, so as you can see, that's a pretty big one right here, and it's quite a lot of labor to remove this harness, because in this area these wires pass through the grommet inside the computer box. It's a huge rubber grommet, and very difficult, and it's like there's no room there. It's just like, this is like, I don't like to do this like that, although I've done it before, but it just took me like about an hour to untangle it all up. And because this came coiled up in the box and all the wires were like touching each other, it's like all, one tangles around the other one and all of this stuff. So I had to put some zip ties, at least some, just to separate them, so they're more or less in the groups versus just like one huge bundle of wires. And of course, after it's all said and done, like, see these wires, they probably will have to be connected to this like that, and then you have this wire and this wire, not to be zip tied here, but it would probably be separating from around this area somewhere from here. So again, there's some slight modifications to be done. Plus they all have to be rewrapped so they all stay together, so they're moving around the ends and all that good stuff. So yeah, I already used the roll of tape. Believe it or not, yes, it does take a lot of, not the roll, whatever I had left from the roll, maybe half a roll, and on a few things, but I will need more, because all of these ends here, that all has to be wrapped up, so these wires stay together, they don't get caught up and whatever, like they move. Because right now, see, this one is so solid, and because it's solid, you can damage the wire here. So that has to be cut open, and this has to be wrapped so they're pliable, not being solid. Like here they're solid, but they're fine. They don't go nowhere. But because of the rough edge here and rough edge over here, this is sharp, actually, believe it or not. And if it keeps rubbing against, then it will fail. Okay, so this is what I have to deal with. And that all has to be put back in the vehicle. I'm not gonna do that. That's not my request. I mean, the car is not around. So yeah, one more time a shot of the wiring. And that's the car, right? That's not that car, of course. I'm just saying, just compare it to the vehicle. It's, you know, takes a lot of room to actually just lay it down. So yeah, all right. So this is the preliminary look and the first look at this wires. And obviously, first things first, we're gonna get the worst ones done first. So I get rid of all of these loose ones, like that. Then I can just sort of start wrapping it together, changing some tape, putting some new tape or what have you. And it will start to come up, you know, come along. It's gonna start to actually look like a normal harness. Like this wire right here, like I've wrapped it. This is the coil wire. I will have to break all of these things and wrap it up with tape better than just leaving the wire like this. Like I said, it's sharp edges here. That's not good. So this has to be all wrapped up. That these wires probably will have to be replaced because they're very dry. Not broken, but very dry. This has to be soldered. You can't leave it like this. Obviously, these are gonna be resoldered. These ones, they have to be rewrapped. There's a lot of wrapping going on here, but it is what it is. Okay, long video, but it is what it is. I had to show it like before and after. Probably I'll make another video after when it's all said and done and finished and wrapped up. Just a finished product video, if you will. All right, so for now, this is going to be all. This is Victor, RestoreYourMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.